A single key remained uncounted for on the ring, and he hesitated over it. For a moment, I thought he was going to unfasten it. "What is that key?" I demanded, for his chaffing had made me bold. "The key to your heart. Give it to me." He dangled the key tantalizing about my head, out of reach of my straining fingers. Those bare red lips of his cracked sidelong in a smile. No," he said. "Not the key to my heart, rather the key to my infer." He left down the ring, fastened the ring together, shook it musically, like a carillon, then threw the keys in a jingling heap in my lap. I could feel the cold metal chilling my thighs through the thin muslin frock. He bent over me to drop a beard mask kiss on my forehead. "Every man must have one secret, even if only one from his wife," he said. "Promise me this." My wife faced being a player. "Promise me you'll use all the keys on the ring, except the last one, the last little one I showed you. Play with anything you find. Jewels, silver plate, make toy boats, and my share certificates, if it pleases you, and send them sailing off. Jamaica after me. All is yours. Everywhere is open to you, except the lock that the single key fits. Yet all it is the key to a little room at the foot of the west tower behind the still room, at the end of a dark little corridor full of word cobwebs that would get into your hair and frighten you if you ventured out. Oh, and you'd find it such a dull little room. But you must promise me, if you love me, to leave it well alone. It is only private study, a hideaway, a den, as the English say, where I can go, sometimes, on those infrequent yet inevitable occasions where the yoke of marriage seems to weigh too heavily on my shoulders. There I can go, you understand, to savor the rare pleasure of imagining myself wifeless. There was a little thin starlight in the courtyard, as, wrapped in my furs, I saw him to his car. His last words were that he had telephoned the mainland and taken a piano tuner on the staff. This man would arrive to take up his duties the next day. He pressed me into his vicuna, pressed once and then drove away. I had drowsed away that afternoon, and now I could not sleep. I lay tossing and turning in a sensual bed until another daybreak discovered the dozen mirrors that were iridescent with the reflection of the sea. The perfume of the lilies swayed in my senses when I thought that henceforth I would always share the sheets with a man whose skin, as theirs did, contained that toad-like clammy hint of moisture. I felt a vague dissolution that within me, now my female wound that healed, there had awoken a certain queasy craving, like the queasiness of pregnant women, for the taste of coal or chalk or tainted food, for the renewal of his caresses. Had he hinted to me in his flesh as in his speeches, in looks of the thousand bouquet intersections of flesh upon flesh, I lay in our wide bed, accompanied by a sleepless companion, my dark newborn curiosity. I lay in bed alone, and I longed for him, and he disgusted me. Were there jewels enough in all his safes to recompense me for this predicament? Did all that castle hold enough riches to recompense me for the company of the libertine with whom I must share it? And what precisely was the nature of my desirous dread of this mysterious being who, to show his mastery given myself was not unmixed with a little tincture of relief. At least I drifted into slumber as daylight filled the room and chased bad dreams away. But the last thing I remember before I slept was the tall jar of lilies beside the bed. How the thick glass distorted their fat stems so they looked like arms, dismembered arms, drifting, drowned in greenish water. Coffee and croissants to console this bridal solitary waking. Delicious honey too, in a section of comb on a glass saucer. The maid squeezed the aromatic juices from an orange into a chilled goblet while I watched her as I lay in the lazy midday bed of the rich. Yet nothing this morning gave me more than a fleeting pleasure except to hear that the piano tuner had been at work already. When the maid told me that I sprang out of bed and pulled my old serge skirt of flannel blouse, costume of a student, in which I felt far more at ease with myself than in any of my fine new clothes. After my 3 hours of practice, I called the piano tuner in to thank him. He was blind, of course, but young, with a gentle mouth and grey eyes that fixed upon me, although they could not see me. He was a blacksmith's son from the village across the causeway, a choister in the church whom the good priest had taught a trade so that he could make a living, almost satisfactory. Yes, he thought he would be happy here, and if added surely, he might sometimes be allowed to hear me play. For you see you love music. Yes, of course, I said. Certainly, he seemed to know that I had smiled. After I dismissed him, even though I'd woken so late, it was still barely time for my 5 o'clock. The housekeeper thoughtfully forewarned by my husband had restrained himself from interrupting my music, now made me a solemn visitation with a lengthy menu for a late luncheon. When I told her I did not need it, she looked at me obliquely along her nose. I understood at once that one of my principal functions at a Chadleigh was to provide work for the staff. But all the same, I asserted myself and said I would wait until dinner time, although I looked forward nervously to the solitary meal. Then I found I had to tell her what I would like to have prepared for me. My imagination, still that of a schoolgirl, ran riot. A foul cream, or should I anticipate Christmas with a varnished turkey? No, I've decided. Avocado and shrimp, lots of it, followed by no entree at all, but surprised me for dessert with every ice cream in the icebox. She noted all down but sniffed. I'd shock her. Such tastes, child that I was, I giggled when she left me. But now, what should I do now? I could have spent a happy hour packing the trunks that contained my trouser, but the maid had done that already. The dresses, the tailor-maids, hung in the wardrobe in my dressing room. The hats on wooden heads to keep their shape. The shoes on wooden feet, as if all these inanimate objects were intimidating. The appearance of life to mock me. I did not like to linger in my overcrowded astonished myself by bursting into tears when I heard her voice. No, nothing was the matter, Mother. I have gold bath taps. I said, gold bath taps. No, I suppose there's nothing to cry about, Mother. The line was bad. I could hardly make out her congratulations, her questions, her concern, but I was too little comforted when I put the receiver down. Yet there still remained one whole hour to dinner, and the whole unimaginable dessert of the rest of the evening. The bunch of keys lay where he had left them, on the rug before the library fire, which had warmed in the middle so that they had no longer felt cold to the touch, but warm, almost as my own skin. How careless I was, a maid tending the locks. Eyed me reproachfully, as if I set a trap for her as I picked up the clingy bundle of keys, the keys to the interior doors, this lovely prison of which I was both the inmate and the mistress, and had scarcely seen. When I remembered that, I felt the exhilaration of the explorer. Lights, more lights. At the touch of a switch, the Truman Library was brightly illuminated. I ran crazily about the castle, switching on every light I could find. I ordered the servants to light up all the quarters too, so the castle would shine like a sea-born birthday cake lit with 1,000 candles, one for every year of its life, and everybody on shore would wonder at it. When everything was lit as brightly as the cafe and the Gare du Nord, the significance of the possessions implied that bunch of keys no longer intimidated me, for I was determined now to search through them all for evidence of my husband's true nature. His office first, evidently. A mahogany desk half a mile wide with impeccable blotter and a blank bank of telephones. I allowed myself the luxury of opening the safe that contained the jewelry and delved sufficiently among the leather boxes to find out how my marriage had given me access to Regent's treasury. Barrows, bracelets, rings. While I was thus surrounded by diamonds, a maid knocked on the door and entered before I spoke. A subtle discourtesy. I would speak to my husband about it. She eyed my serge skirt superciliously. Did Madame plan to dress for dinner? She made a more moe of disdain when I laughed to hear that. She was far more the lady than I. But imagine to dress up in one of my poor extravagances, with a jeweled turban and aigrette on my head, roped with pearl to the navel, to sit down all alone at the Barinal dining hall at the head of the massive board at which King Mark was reputed to have fed his knights. I grew calmer under the cold eye of his dispersion. I adopted the crisp inflections of an officer's daughter. No, I would not dress for dinner. Furthermore, I was not hungry enough for dinner itself. She must tell the housekeeper to cancel the dormitory feast I had ordered. Could they leave me sandwiches and a glass of coffee in my music room? And would they all dismiss for the night? My sweet madame. I knew by her bereft intonation I let them down again, but I did not sword. But I would not find his heart amongst the glittering stones as soon as she had gone. I began a systematic search of the drawers of his desk. All I was in order, so I found nothing. Not a random doodle on the old envelope, nor the faded photograph of a woman, only the files of business correspondence, the bills from the home farms. The invoices from dealers, the billets due from international financiers. Nothing in this absence of the evidence of his real life began to impress me. Strangely, there must, I thought, be a great deal to conceal if he takes such pains to hide it. His office was a singularly impersonal room, facing inwards onto the courtyard, as though he wanted to turn his back to the Siren Sea, in order to keep a clear head while he bankrupted a small businessman in Amsterdam, or I noticed with a thrill of distaste engaged in some business in Laos that must, from certain cryptic references to his amateur botanist enthusiasm for rare poppies, be to do with opium. Was he not rich enough to do without crime, or was the crime itself his profit? And yet I saw enough appreciate his zeal for secrecy. Now I had ransacked his desk. I must spend a cool-headed quarter of an hour putting every last letter back where I found it. And as I covered the traces of my visit, by some chance, as I reached inside a little drawer that had stuck fast, I must have touched a hidden spring, for a secret door flew open within that drawer itself, and the secret drawer contained, at last, a file marked personal. I was alone, but for my reflection in the uncurtained window. I had the brief notion that his hard breast, flat as a flower, crimson and thin as tissue paper, lay in this file as if he had thin one. I could have wished perhaps I had not found that touching Elspeth note on a paper napkin marked Le Couple, that began, "My darling, I cannot wait for that moment when you may make me yours completely." The diva had sent me a page of the score of Tristan de Le Piston, with a single cryptic word, until, scrawled across it, but the strangest of all these love letters, was a postcard with a view of a village graveyard on my mountains, where some black-coated gull enthusiastically dug a grave. This little scene, executed with a lurid experience of Grand Guignol, was captured. Typical Transylvanian scene. Midnight, All Hallows, and on the other side the message, on occasion of this wedding, on occasion of this marriage, to the descendant of Dracula, always remember, the supreme and the unique pleasure of love is the certainty that one is doing one evil. Twis amenities, see. A joke in the worst possible taste, for had he not been married to a Roman countess, and I remembered her pretty witty face and her name, Carmela. My most recent predecessor in this castle had been, it would seem, the most sophisticated. I put away the file sobered. Nothing in my life of family love and music had prepared me for these grown-up games, and yet these were clues to a self that showed me, at least, how much he had been loved, even if they did not reveal any good reason for it. But I wanted to know still more, and as I closed the office door and locked it, the means to discover more fell my way. Fell indeed, and with the clatter of a dropped canteen of cutlery, for, as I turned the